Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Lydia with Raindrop Lila, and today I want to share with you guys this journal that I made. It got pretty thick and I wanted to really include a lot of laces and trims. The cover is this crocheted lace and I hand stitched it on here so that it's secure, and there's actually quite a few layers in here of like different fabrics, and I love that rough edge with all the little pieces coming out, all that fraying. I think that's really pretty. And so here it is. I also included this little hand stitch slow stitch rose, and it's attached with a little safety pin so that can come off and you can add it inside the journal if you wish. And this ribbon, it's tied with this ribbon, and I actually did a little bit of coffee dyeing, and so you're gonna see that it's some parts are a little bit coffee dyed. It's got like a coffee dyed color, and some is more white. So this journal has whites and creams, like this is more white and then the outside is more cream. And I love that combination, especially when I'm working with neutrals, because I basically have different shades. I have like the white, the taupe, and then the creams, and so I love the way they look together because it gives it a little bit more dimension. Okay, and so I'm gonna open it up. Okay, so this journal, it has 58 pages if you count them each like this, but then it has 116 sides if you count each side, and I did count every single page that is in here, including the smaller pages. Okay, and so you'll see as I go through it. It's a fairly thick journal, and I would say this is a great journaling journal because it has just enough inspiration in here for it to be pretty, but then there's plenty of room to write and to add kind of your own to it. Okay, so here I have a pocket. This also has been hand stitched on here, and here I included some pieces of printed papers that you can use for the journal, and this I actually just kind of tucked it inside itself. And this just opens up, and this could be journaled on. You can also use this for collaging in the journal. Okay, so then this goes in here, and again, this could be journaled on. I have a really light, let's see if you can see it. It's a really light print on the inside. And I have a little bit of trim here. I have some faux washi strip right up there, and then it's just tied up with this piece of, it's like a vintage looking ribbon. I think that's so pretty. Okay, and that gets tucked in here. Then I have this document, and it has a really, again, it has a really light, it's like a backing that I love to use in my journals, and I will link all the digitals that I use below. And basically it's a letter on one side, and I just did a little bit of decorating. And then on the inside you can write or collage, or you can even turn this into a little journal. Okay, and that gets tucked there. This right here, actually both, I wanted to mention, both of these roses were hand stitched by me. And this one also was hand stitched by me. I have some really pretty vintage trim on here, and then I have this pom-pom trim right there. And this printable right here is from one of my Angel, I believe it's from my Angel digitals. I use a lot of neutral kits, and if you go to my shop, I have a neutral section where I have a bunch of neutral digitals, but then I also have a lot of kits that work really well with the neutrals, and one of them is my Angels collection. I have a lot of really pretty like vintage looking papers that are really neutral in my angels collection, and also with my Christmas collection. And those I think will work well for any just for any time. You can use them in any journal because they're just basic, really pretty vintage looking layouts. But I made them when I made like the angel one, I made them to work with my angel collection, and then the Christmas one I made to work with the Christmas collection. But you can use them any way you wish, and I always love to mix my papers up because it kind of gives you a different feel, if that makes sense. Okay, let's move on. So I wanted to show you that side view. I just think it's so pretty. All of this is just like so many really beautiful laces, and a lot of them are vintage. I used some from a wedding dress, and then I have some that I received from my friends, like this right here is from my friend Abby. Okay, so here I have a tag that I made, and these just get tucked in here. This is one of my latest tags. I just came out with this recently. And then I have the faux, it's like the sewing tape that I have as a printable, and I love using it, and I used it on here. I actually used it throughout the journal. This right here is just a little bit of wallpaper that I glued down. And then I added this little piece of vintage paper. You could just like write a little note and add it in there. And then I have these labels, and I love using them. I think they're so pretty. And then they just get tucked in there and attached, and just right in there. Okay, here I have this little I want to say dictionary page, but I don't think it's from a dictionary, but it's just a little book page, and it has the earth, let's see, about the earth, so different places in the world. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's pretty print, and it's yellowed paper. I just love the way that looks, and I just staple these pieces together, and that way this could be used for journaling, and then this could be either just decorative, or you can collage on here instead. Okay, this is from one of my Christmas digitals. And again, it could be used for any journal. I think it's really pretty. I just happened to make it at Christmas time to work as a great background page. Same with this. I think this is from my Christmas, either my Christmas or my angel kit. This is some vintage paper. It's super thin, and so I actually glued a little bit of vintage lace back here. And then this is another printable. And I love this. I have the front and the back to it. Okay, so this right here, I'm going to actually pull it out because it is, let's see. Okay, so this actually, I'm going to open it up. This is like a little document, mini journal, I would say. So this is a tag that I decorated. And this I just created like a few days ago. Okay, so I don't even know. I think it's in my shop actually. I think this is my French elegance. I have a bunch of tags. Okay, and then this is, okay, so I have a digital in my shop with a bunch of French checks in different colors. And this is one of them. And I love that because love adding this to all my journals. Sometimes I'll cut them out and just attach one to a page, and sometimes I'll use it as a sheet like this, and I have the front and the back to them, so you can print them so that it looks like it kind of like the ink went through, and you can see it on the back, but it's light enough to journal. And so this is a great place. Again, you can journal on the back, or you can collage. And then I included this one, which is lined paper. So I have lined paper in different shades in my Etsy shop also. So I have them in tall and in landscape, and this one's landscape. Okay, and then I have this one. I love this one. So pretty. I love that gold accents. And so I just folded them in 3 like that. And I actually sewed it on there. I thought that would be a nice detail to just sew it and tie it. And I added a little bit of lace, a button, and then again some of that lace, and then just a label there. And then I added this pretty tag on top of it, and I just tie it with this ribbon, with this. So this is a great way to add some hidden journaling to your journals. And if you like to journal like about your own life, this can also be like a little place that you journal maybe about an event. And so everything's kind of like tucked away in one spot. It's almost like a mini journal within a journal. Okay, let's try it again. I want to actually tie it so that I'm gonna do one bow, right? So I was trying to make it a little bit off, like one side longer than the other, so that you have just one. You can do it either way, but I kind of like that. I feel like sometimes by doing that, it just adds some extra interest. I learned a long time ago when I did photography that you don't always have to have everything in the middle or perfectly aligned or perfectly symmetrical. Sometimes, or most times, it's more pleasing to the eye to have something a little bit off balance, and they call it the rule of thirds. So that's why sometimes when I'm creating, you'll see that I'll fill up maybe once, like 2/3 of the page, because I think it's really important to also have some white space in your layouts. And so that kind of is the same thing with the bow. I'll tie a regular bow, but sometimes I'll change it up and just do this. Okay. So this journal has a lot of neutrals, but it also has some blues in here and grays. And I think that looks so pretty in a neutral journal. You just have like this hint of blues. And I have a photo here. I printed this on just some glossy photo paper, and I think it looks so pretty. And I backed it up with some of this packing paper, which I inked a little bit, and then I added a little ruffle and some lace. And see, so here is like, this is light enough you can journal right on top, and you can also decorate it. And then I have lace right here, and I just, again, I wanted to make sure there's a lot of room for journaling. And here's another piece, and this one opens up. And so this, you can journal on here because it's still, you still have that space. And then you have the picture, the pretty picture on the front. And this is a little bit thicker. I just wanted to add that dimension in there. Okay, so this is a belly band, which is a perfect tuck spot for like a little note. I'm just tucking that in there. This right here is some vintage lace from a wedding dress, and I absolutely love it. I love the way it tears and the way it frays. I think it's just so beautiful. It's actually one of my favorite laces that I love to use in my journals, and I'm almost done with it. I almost finished using it. I have a little button there and just some pieces of fabric. Okay, so here I have some satin. This is also from a wedding dress that I had, and I just use it to reinforce this paper because it's pretty old and fragile. Some more vintage lace. Some more vintage lace. This is from my Pretty Neutrals collection, and so is this. Okay, so this is, oh my gosh, I think it's from, let me think. Okay, so this digital isn't mine. It's by Kylie with Paper Daisy Journals, and I will link her down below. Okay, and then this is my printables, and I just did a little bit of a collage there. Okay, so this right here is just a little pocket. This right here is from So this right here, this printable, is from my friend Tanya with Let's Design Creative. And I have a little journaling card in here. And it's lighter. It's actually paperweight. Okay. Okay, so this right here is cardstock. And it's embossed paper. It has a rose on there. And I did a little bit of painting on top of there, just for that pretty texture. And then this is just a pretty decorative label. Okay, and then I have this little tag that I made, and I attached it to this paper clip. Okay, and then here I have this little pocket, and this pocket is actually inspired by Heather with Rose Hill Paper Cottage. She always makes pockets like this out of book pages. So I decided that I wanted to make one for this journal, and I think it's so cute. And I just used some different papers. Just used some different papers for decorating it, for collaging it. I have tickets in my shop that I cut out. I actually have stickers that are tickets, but I just ran out. So then I grabbed the tickets that I have in my shop as a printable, and I cut them out and I used them on here. And I also have a little bit of tape on here, some faux, some vintage style tape that I made. And then this is a little pocket. This is a pocket too. You can put something in here for sure. And then you have the tag also. How cute is that? I love it. I need to make more of these. I think they're so cute and fun, and they're really quick. And it's also a really great way to use up all those book pages. Okay, let's move along. Some more papers. Perfect place for writing or even collaging. And then this right here is a little, it's like a little, it looks like a card, and it just wraps around the page, and I think that it just adds interest to this page. And then you can actually write on the inside. I printed like the backing of a paper, so it looks like kind of vintage on the inside. And then I just something like this, like a little card, and just add it on top of your page that is full of your writing, and that'll give you some privacy and kind of cover up your handwriting and your personal thoughts. And it adds a little bit of color and just some interest to your page. So this is from my Pretty Neutrals kit. And this one I just added a little bit of book page right there, and I think it adds some interest. And you can always go in and add more pieces to it, like decorative pieces. So I wanted to give that option and have a lot of pages in this journal, so you can kind of go in and decorate also. Okay, this is a book page. I did a little ruffle here, and I did a bunch of hand stitching. These are tiny little stitches on there, and I think they look so pretty and delicate. This is another vintage book page, and I love the way it's so yellowed. This is from my Daisy collection. Another book page. This is from my Neutrals collection. And then I wanted to show you this. This is again one of my favorite pages because I did all this little hand stitching. Aren't those cute? I just love the little hearts. I think they are so adorable. Okay. And I have some tulle on here. And I have this little pocket full of a bunch of little pieces. And this is one of my aesthetic photos. And I also have one from the same kit that's on this little mini journal. And this also is coming with the journal. This is from my Sepia Aesthetic Photos kit. And I have a bunch of pieces here, again, that you can use for journaling, for doing collages in the journal. And then I made this little piece. It's like a little envelope where you can keep some pieces, and I just included some of these little vintage labels that I printed out. And then I have some pieces here in the front. And this is also from my friend Abby. It's actually wallpaper, but it's so pretty. Look at that texture. Okay, so here are some of the labels that I have from my digitals, and these again are really great. These again are really great for collaging or for just adding a little bit of detail in your on your pages. I have this label, and then I have these pieces of paper. This is actually from a vintage book, and I just like that. I think it's really cool. It'd be a really great addition to a page, or even like an inspiration for your journaling. At least that's how I would use it. And then these pieces, they're printed front and back, and they're actually printed on really pretty, like it's like document paper. So they have like a cotton feel to them. These all kind of go in there, and then they get tucked in here. And then this pocket is also hand stitched, and I got the little hearts that I hand stitched on there. And then turn this over, and you can see some of the hand stitching on the back. And then I hand stitched this piece on here, a piece of lace, and then a piece of paper. I have some trim on the edge there. I have some lace on here. Okay, I made another little tag, and perfect place to do some journaling on. And then again, I have that pretty, pretty lace. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. I just love this. I love this fabric together. I think it's so, so beautiful. Okay, and then on this side, I made a little pocket out of a piece of wallpaper, and then I have this piece here, and this is a little envelope, and inside I have just a bunch of pieces again that you can use for journaling, just to use in your journals. Okay, I'm not going to open it up. Okay, and then back here I'm going to give you a close-up look. Okay, so here I have a little bowl pin, and I have these little pieces of basically some fabrics. I have this little string of like faux pearls on here, and then I made a little tassel, which I just attached on there, and I thought that's so cute. I also hand stitched the pocket on here, and then all this little trim, everything's hand stitched, and when you remove what's there, you'll see some more hand stitching on the back of the cover. I thought that would be some really cute detail. You got the little heart, and then just some pieces of lace. Okay, then I'm going to show you guys what comes in the pocket. I have this here is a document. It's like a French document. And again, this is printed on really pretty paper. It's like resume paper. I'll have to look it up, but it feels so, so pretty. It feels different. Okay, and then I made this little envelope, and this is inspired by Ruby and Pearl, although I think that hers were a little bit different. But I was inspired to just add some lace and some stitching on there. Okay, so I added that there. This just looks like a really pretty old envelope, and here it says Renewed Beauty. And so you open it up, and I have this little card inside. Again, this is from my Sepia Aesthetic Photos, which this is from, and then that other picture. And I did all these little hand stitched or embroidery little rosettes, okay, with this little embroidery thread, and I thought it would be really pretty in here. And again, this is vintage lace, so pretty. I just love this so much. Okay, so this envelope gets tucked in here. Okay, so that's the journal. I also made this little mini journal, and it's got a bunch of little pages in here and more pieces that you can work with. Okay, and it's tied up with this cotton yarn, so you can actually remove pages if you wanted to add these to the big journal, or if you wanted to use them in the bigger journal. But here's this little journal, and then I'm also including all these pretty papers. The papers are from my, there are a variety of papers. I can link them below. That'll be easier. And these are fairly new. I always love to make new digitals to work with, so that's kind of what I did. I was working on this journal and I went back and I made a couple, a new kit with tags to use in it. Okay, so this journal will be available for sale when I post it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys find it inspiring. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.